Congratulations, you found the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Very well. Where do I begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Live from the Twin Cities.
It's hump day.
Hump day?
It's the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Hump day? Huh? Anybody?
It's hump day.
Let's get this hit show started.
What on God's green earth is going on in this
like
room?
Vacation in here.
Okay, you're listening to Twin Cities Hit Show, and I'll tell you what, I'm watching my co-host, Mr. Rusty Gatenby, apply sunscreen lotion.
That's smart.
No, we're indoors.
No, he'll go outside eventually. He's planning ahead. I am very pro sunscreen. Good for you, Mr.
Dark
Gatenby.
complexion. Why does he need that?
Yes, my red hair and freckles. I was told by my dermatologist that I should have been doing sunblock every morning.
Yes.
And I had not been, but today I got a thing that I'm going to at noon.
So you might as well plan ahead. And you should reapply. You know that. I sunscreened as I got out of the car. I had the spray-on sunscreen
And you're
in the
both
car.
weird about sunscreen. Here's how I picture a conversation with, here's how I picture a conversation with Rusty's skin doctor. You should have been dead years ago.
Well, there is that. No, the Twins play at noon. I'm going to the Twins game.
Good call. Nice.
They've been doing very well, so you should
Yeah.
have an excellent time. Beautiful day. Today's the day to go.
According to the host of Twins Tuesday, that's me.
Hey, wow, you are a big deal around this here studio.
5 weeks into my Twins Tuesday hosting, and yeah, the Twins are like amazing.
They're on fire. Yeah.
They're amazing.
They can thank you.
They can thank me.
You brought us some good playing luck. Good for you.
Athletes are superstitious. If they heard that their streak began when I started doing Twins Tuesday, they would demand I never leave that show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the Red Sox are supposed to be a good team. They spent
Yes.
a ton of dough on their team, and they beat them last night.
Yeah.
They play them again today.
Yeah, not for nothing. They're destroying the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, so good for you. Put your sunscreen on. Go have a brilliant time in
Yeah.
Target Field. Fantastic ballpark.
Chuck visits Boston for the first time. They come here and lose.
Yeah.
So
See?
you gave them that
You're
mojo.
welcome, Twins.
So we'll just keep Chuck out of the ballpark. It's okay.
No, I help things.
Yeah, because he went to Boston, and now Boston can't win for
Yeah.
living.
Yeah, so
Not
don't
for
go
nothing, they
to
can't
our
win.
ballpark. Stay away from it. So
You're welcome.
Sunshine here, but gosh, how about this Texas thing? Look, we're watching
Oh, I
CNN
know.
now.
Yeah.
This dam was threatening to overflow, and now evidently it is overflowing
Right.
in Texas. That's like science fiction movie stuff. That's like Hollywood production going on right there.
God damn. No, but in all seriousness, do you read that? The one house swept away, a vacation house with 2 families in it, 12
oh,
people
that's
are
so
missing.
sad.
They were swept away in their house.
Yeah, in a vacation. You're like, kids, we're going to go on vacation in Texas.
Here's a quick
Beautiful.
update from this morning about it.
Texas is under threat again this morning from a relentless and deadly cycle of rain and flooding. More heavy rain and lightning lashed areas around Dallas overnight. Some parts of the state have seen more than a foot of rain in recent days.
Storms have killed at least 17 people in Texas and Oklahoma since the weekend. More than a dozen others are still missing at this hour, and as many as 4,000 homes in Houston are damaged after a deluge on Monday night and Tuesday.
Come on, Mother Nature. Share some of that to California.
Well, here's the problem, and this is happening in Texas and Oklahoma, so I feel like these numbers are skewed because those people can't count.
Oh,
so
stop it.
We don't really know what the actual damage and carnage total
People in
is.
Texas can count.
Not really.
They just are more likely to count in their favor.
They voted for Rick Perry.
They
Well,
voted for a lot
count.
of people that you wouldn't be a fan of.
Yeah, good point.
That has nothing to do with arithmetic. That has to do with messed up brains.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's very difficult in that part of the country because you don't, because you go through these since it is such a temperate climate more normally for this kind of thing. It's like when I lived in Arizona, you don't prepare. They tell you, here's what happens, and flash floods happen because it's just not made to have this much rain hit. It's not, it's all concrete and then drainage sites.
Yeah.
So when it does happen, it's just completely dangerous, and you can't prepare for this kind of thing. So it's terrible. I feel really bad for all those
And
people.
the storm just won't stop. It's
Right.
been down there for days and days. I mean, we had our thing for 3 days here?
Yeah.
Right.
Rain and rain and rain.
Oh, yeah, the damage that happens to that ground. My special lady friend has a house down there that she would just got an offer on, was about to sell, and I know it's already flooded to an extent. So, and of course, you don't have flood insurance in an area where you're not near a floodplain.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
And flood insurance is really complicated anyway.
Oh,
like I looked into it when I was,
Yeah.
When I was getting my renter's insurance just because.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
was like, wow, there's a bunch of rules and extra gobbledygook about flood insurance, so no wonder people don't get it.
And then you're like, it's never flooded here in 100 years. I'm not going to insist that year that you're screwed. You know, I went to a screening last night of San Andreas, the
Oh, yes.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's movie,
Yeah.
which
Right.
we'll have a full review on the Rest of the Gate Me review and on WCCO this Friday morning.
Okay, can you just tell me this?
Yes.
Okay, you don't have to even say it on the air. Just give me a visual.
Well, then you're going to react, and people will know.
No, I won't react. I can be deadpan. I wish
Here's the
Rusty
deal.
could give me an answer on that, but I guess
You're a fan of the dun dun dun, or like here's the cliffhanger.
Here's my problem with watching movies like this, and there's been a lot of apocalyptic end of the world type movies, but specifically with a movie like San Andreas, where they're talking about the San Andreas fault going the big one.
Right.
And everyone in California has talked about, well, someday we're 100 years overdue for the big one.
Yep.
So it's like, should we be enjoying this movie, or is this like a future documentary of what Los Angeles and San Francisco will actually be doing?
You would think both, because you never know when it's going to happen, so you might as well enjoy
I'm
it in the
watching this
time
going,
being.
oh, cool, look at how realistic all this,
Yeah.
horrific
This
images.
is going to be terrible. Yeah.
yeah,
In
Mike.
the meantime, you're like, go, Rock, go. Wait a second. That's buildings and people. And
Well, that's the parts that you have to enjoy, is that you hope that there's some sort of superhero, like The Rock, at least saving a few people or his family. Or making
I'm
it
surprised
He's just an
Hollywood
average guy.
greenlit this, and I'm wondering if I live in California, do I actually want to go see this?
out. Why are you surprised? I mean,
Just
because we've had
because.
these kind
Yeah.
of movies
Yeah.
before. I guess that's why I'm like, isn't that what?
I'm surprised every time Hollywood wants to celebrate what may be their demise.
I think it's a way of
If,
documenting.
in fact, the science is there saying they are overdue
Yeah.
for the big one, it's like, it's
Or do you want to be that director / writer that was like, see, I predicted this, and my movie is the one, kind of thing.
but then
for
are we
everybody
supposed
else
to
in the
go
country.
in there and enjoy it? It's like, I don't know if this parallel works.
I don't understand why you would. You don't. I can understand why you can say,
If
well,
somehow,
maybe I don't enjoy
if
it.
somehow we knew 9/11 was imminent, would we go to a movie starring The Rock, showing this future horrific thing,
Yeah.
and cheer it on as a popcorn summer fun?
Does he have his
Watching
shirt off?
the Twin Towers
I would
come down
totally watch
while The Rock saves one or two people, his family.
So do you have to suspend your disbelief and go, that's not really going to happen? Do you have to become
Well,
one of those
that's the
people
sci-
to enjoy it?
The
Is that what you're
science is saying the big one is overdue.
But that's why
yeah.
I'm saying, do you have to turn your brain off so that you can enjoy the film
Yeah.
for the film's
Well,
sake?
Yeah, well, I guess.
Okay.
Because my reactions to it were split back and forth. Right between, I'm like,
Right.
that is so cool. That is so horrible. That is
Yeah.
so cool. Is that really what's going to, oh my God, when this happens, it's going to be, that is so cool.
But isn't that back to the fact of computers are so good now that
Oh, yeah.
all of this destruction and violence seems so much more realistic now. Is it now difficult, because that's how I feel about some sci-fi and fantasy shows that I watch. I'm like, no, the violence is too real now. There's the torture scenes actually seem like what I think would be. So it's difficult for me now. I become uncomfortable, so I don't enjoy them anymore. I don't
But at
see them as
least-
entertaining. So is that where you're at now with these kind of films?
But this is more hard-based reality versus science fantasy and fiction.
Well, I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think,
the surrounding story isn't still you're able to disbelieve it, but is it the actual seeing the violence, seeing the buildings collapse, seeing the way they happen now, does it resonate as too real for you so you can't be entertained by it?
Yes, more specifically, so real in that the question becomes, are we going to be seeing this on CNN in the near future?
Right.
Wall-to-wall coverage of the millions of people that die in L.A. and San Francisco.
Yeah, we are.
Possibly.
Yeah,
And if that is the case,
what's real?
go grab a box of popcorn and you can watch it this weekend starring The Rock.
It's a weird thing because my probably closest family, the people I'm closest with, talk to the most, all live in L.A.
Are they talking about moving though?
No, God, no.
Okay.
They're like, well, we're pretty now. We all look very pretty, and this is okay.
So, yeah, that is a weird
Yeah.
existence out there because
It
if
is.
you believe it,
Yeah,
you're like, and then you're having
Yeah.
children.
yeah. And grandchildren.
Are you Just going la 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 la. I don't.
Maybe.
Do you guys remember the earthquake of what, 92, 93? Went right through the neighborhood where all of my relatives live. I mean, like, the streets were cut in half by this thing. It's incredible. I mean, there's no doubt they know this thing is coming.
I wonder
and they think it's worth it in the meantime.
Yeah,
I wonder
very nice there.
how well the movie will do. I'm assuming it's going to do pretty well.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if there will be a conversation reaction like, houses go up for sale, people moving out of Los Angeles and San Francisco after the realistic portrayal of the big one.
Remember Earthquake with Charlton Heston?
I watched the trailer last night when I got back to compare it.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Damn it, Remy! Give me your hand!
And that wasn't enough to make you go, well, this is a big one coming. We shouldn't do this.
Yeah,
like,
that's
so
true. That was
kind of
1974, and it really didn't.
It didn't make anybody change their
No.
mind. They're like, this could be next week. And they're like, we're not moving.
But then you have Paul Giamatti as the scientist and expert in this movie.
Oh, what a pick. Yeah,
Spewing what I'm assuming is actual facts about the earthquake, the plates, the prediction that it's 100 years overdue for the big one, the earthquakes that have hit in our lifetime in Alaska and these different places, and just building up the, holy crap, why would anyone live there?
I know. Although the day-to-day, I mean, I've spent a lot of time in L.A., I'm told, as long as you don't have to get in traffic, what a wonderful place. Or run outside.
Hey,
don't
dude,
jog outside.
I was going out there 10, 12 times. I was going out there twice a month.
Well,
So
I mean,
maybe it's just
the
life
weather's
is-
always perfect. Everyone's smiling.
It's like living in a mall.
The last time I was there, this is crazy. I saw a woman, you're not going to believe this, in L.A. with real breasts. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's not factual.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe they just look real. I don't know.
So if you were given like the most beautiful meal in the world and you could have X amount of money, but you had to have a gun with one bullet in the chamber and spin it.
Would you do it?
Would
Some
you
people
do it?
would. I would not. Some people would. You know, and I've lived in California, and it wasn't that fun to me. And so,
See, the
so I moved. But no matter where you live, there's.
Hey, I'll take wind chill for 10 days over the total destruction of Minneapolis, St. Paul.
It would be so fun. Think of the moments of humanity you could develop with others as you could reach your hand down and pull someone out of the rubble. I mean, dust everywhere. You don't have to shower for a couple of days. I mean, there's a lot of
And
positives.
no matter what scientists say, there's always a bunch of naysayers that are saying that's that's black magic. That's not real science.
The
It's not
Earth
gonna
is
happen.
settled. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So anyway, the full review coming up on the Rusty Gateby review, as well as on WCCO this Friday morning. Speaking of science fiction and fantasy, David Duchovny evidently has read the. Whoa, here it is. Has read the X-Files script. Did you read this?
Negative.
Brought him to tears.
Oh, nice.
I wonder why that is. So evidently, not only is this happening, but it sounds like it's going to be good.
Good.
You were.
I thought
were
he
you
was
a fan?
I was a fan.
Wasn't he
What?
out?
No, he came back in.
David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson
Yeah.
seemed as psyched that X-Files is returning as the series' superfans. Actually, maybe they are the show's biggest superfans. The first pair staged a very public kiss, and David admitted that reading the new script made him very emotional. I got the first script this morning, David told Entertainment Weekly. I just read it about an hour ago, and I started crying reading the first page. It was so strange to see the names on the page.
Do you think it's like missing an old friend now is what it seems the way he's discussing it?
So, okay, now I have to rethink this. So he was crying not just because the script was so good. He was just crying because they were back to work on the project.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he started crying when he saw his names on the page. That's like, oh,
we're so
that doesn't
glad-
tell me a lot.
So just happy to be back with this project. I mean, that was a long time of his life. I mean, if you look at his fandom, I mean, that's probably the biggest thing still that he had.
Oh, he did
Even
something
though he has
after that?
so he had other
really?
shows that were actually successful. It's just that that's still obviously the one that people have the biggest emotional attachment to. And you know how sci-fi and fantasy fans are. We're rabid about things that we like. Yeah. So people who are X-Files fans are X-Files fans. That's not my particular area of geek, but I watched all the shows and really liked them. Was glad to see there was going to be another one.
Star Wars or Star Trek? Go.
Star Trek. So
Chuck,
stargazing. No, Star Wars. I don't even. Was Star Trek actually a thing?
There's a guy in China who, have you heard about this guy?
Which guy?
Making news, according to Time Magazine. He is such a big fan of Star Trek. Here we go. Chinese executive who sits on the board of, what is it, Baidu? has constructed an office building that pays faithful homage to Star Trek's USS Enterprise. The building was built by NetDragon Websoft's 43-year-old founder, Liu Dejian.
I like that you just blend names together when you're not sure how they're pronounced.
When in doubt, make some shit up.
It will provide office space for the Chinese game developer. The Wall Street Journal reports the 853-foot-long structure cost 600 million yuan?
And our guest Tim Wick just got here, so
it's
$97
$97
and he's a big
million
fan of this as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
$97 million to build, so not quite as expensive as our stadium.
And less the devastation that earthquake's going to cause.
Our guest,
I am a big fan of anyone who is willing to bring anything like that to life and orchestrate it and have it created appropriately. So, I mean, if they're going to be an homage to something like that, I am all for it.
cool looking office building. So a set of tennis courts off of it, and
Oh, that is
Well, the
nice.
tennis
Running
courts, I
track.
don't think were in the original
No, that
Star
was
Trek
huge.
series.
Yeah,
So maybe on a
If that was
holodeck
my
somewhere.
No, you
office
didn't see-
building, I would just live there. all the time.
Damn it,
I'd be like, I'm on a 5-year mission. And I'll be home in 5 years.
I want to see Shatner play tennis. Damn it, Spock! I set the serve.
you all need to be beamed to the mental ward.
Why? Just because you don't see our vision.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you talk
Man.
about us. You're the one that can't see San Andreas now because you're like, this seems too real. So just join the club, Rusty. That's how it is.
That
Just
is
join
apples
the club.
and
That's how
oranges.
we. No,
I'm
it is
talking
not.
about-
You don't
It
go
is
to-
apples
you
and
don't go to
apples.
movies that seem
Introduce our
real.
guest here,
Yeah.
Chuck.
Well, we have Tim Wick here and a lovely redheaded woman who does not have a headset or a mic yet.
Otherwise, she's good to go.
Otherwise, she's good to go. Shut up, I said. Shut up. Hey, hi, Tim.
Hi. I should let the redheaded woman introduce herself, too.
But she, yes,
Yeah, hey, my name's Dawn Krasnowski. Hello.
red hair rules.
I brought her along because she's in our show.
Oh, good call. We're going to have a mic and a headset for her as soon as I
that's
can
awesome.
get a chance.
There will
We
be
can
a
share in the meantime.
there'll be a damage
Sorry.
deposit. We'll need that.
This is sexism. Do you notice that all the men have headsets, but only half the women?
Yes.
Why
that
are you
is
bringing this
sexism.
up? Because we are perfectly happy
Because it's
to
a problem.
share.
Well, yeah, people like you help further this problem.
So here's
I
what
don't
I think
it's
we should do
sexism.
in the
I
meantime.
think that women are more capable of doing radio without headsets.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we just
okay,
share.
Mr. Silver Lining.
And microphones,
Yes.
evidently.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could do without that as
Can
well.
you-
I've seen Dawn in performances before. She can project, and if it really becomes a problem, we can just take your microphone, Chuck, because I'm sure she has lots to add.
I've dated and married people who can project just fine.
That worked out really well for you.
Thank you so much.
I was going to say the same thing.
I'll be off mic here grabbing some equipment. Good timing.
Do you know where the equipment is?
I have no
He
idea where
has
the
no
equipment
clue, so that's why I'm like, you're
So,
just gonna make a bunch
Chuck,
of work
let's
and
just
we'll be
wait for the
fine.
break
It's just
then
sit down.
He's going to
Sit
run.
I
down
think
and
there may
wait.
be a headset right
Don't.
It's
don't,
really
don't,
okay.
don't.
Just sit
Sit.
because everything's downstairs. It's fine.
It's
I've been
home
voted
anywhere.
back on the island. This is great.
It's like the universe is talking. Did you see Amy Schumer's thing on the universe?
I've seen Amy Schumer's thing on a lot of things.
She-
That sounded dirty.
This is with Bill
Well,
Nye.
it's Amy Schumer. It probably was anyway.
It
Listen.
probably was.
Here we go. A moment of Amy Schumer's version of the universe talking, and Bill Nye is the host.
The universe. For centuries, humankind has strived to understand this vast expanse of energy, gas, and dust. In recent years, a stunning breakthrough has been made in our concept of what the universe is for.
So I was texting while I was driving, and I ended up taking a wrong turn that took me directly past a vitamin shop. And I was just like, this is totally the universe telling me I should be taking calcium.
Oh my God.
Right?
Universe.
Scientists once believed the universe was a chaotic collection of matter. We now know the universe is essentially a force, sending cosmic guidance to white women in their 20s.
So you know how I've been fucking my married boss for like 6 months? Well, I was starting to get really worried he was never gonna leave his wife. But then yesterday in yoga, the girl in front of me was wearing a shirt that just said, chill. And I was just like, this is so the universe telling me, girl, just like keep fucking your married boss, right?
Try to imagine the universe as a giant dream board
It's with Bill
on
Nye.
which
It's gotta be
women
true.
pin their wishes.
I have been looking everywhere for an apricot puggle, and they're like almost impossible to find. I just decided I'm gonna just put it out into the universe, and if it was meant to be, it will manifest itself, you know?
The universe is totally going to bring you an apricot puggle. Like last year when I left my job to start a mitten company, I put my dream out into the universe by making a mitten Pinterest page.
I am dying to buy mittens from you.
Yeah, so I haven't started making them yet, but I would love to stay with you until things pick up.
Universe. I'm not thinking, doesn't.
How hard could it be to make just one mitten? They don't even have fingers.
Anyway, you get the idea. I think we're all guilty of this to a certain extent, aren't we? If something happens, we're like, "Oh, that was just meant to be."
Well, you like you like to have there be some cause and effect sometimes. So sometimes you're just grasping for some, hope or a glimmer of just like, yes, I need the positivity that you're like, fair enough. Look, I thought I was going to be late to work, and then all of the lights turned green, and suddenly I was not late for work. So the universe is assisting me.
I want to be listening on the phone call when somebody called Bill Nye and said, "Hey, Bill, we were wondering if you'd do this thing."
He's got a good sense of humor.
He does.
He does. He's great on Twitter. Yeah. I follow him on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he doesn't take himself seriously at all. That's the kind of person. He has jokes. I mean, the only thing that would have made it better if like Neil deGrasse Tyson had done it or something like that. That would have been hilarious. So then you were like, now it's for real.
He probably said no. He probably got the first call, actually.
He was probably busy at Amy. I bet you Amy should recall
I don't think
Bill
he would have
first.
said no if he wasn't busy.
Right,
Neil deGrasse Tyson has a pretty good sense of humor, too.
Yeah.
Well, the universe obviously said no.
Said no.
Yeah, the universe just told him no.
I'm totally guilty of that. I'm like, oh, it was just meant to be. And now I'm like, I was a big, stupid idiot.
Like drive-through cheeseburgers, thanks to the universe. Like, oh, yeah, I don't have enough time. The universe wants me to have Burger King. Yay.
I don't know if I've ever said the universe, but like meeting my wife, I was like, oh, we were meant to be, and thank you.
I say the universe and I do, but that, I think you moved to the universe.
I was meant to find her on that 1-800 site. And
I feel like if you, for me, part of the reason why the universe came and that is that I grew up so religious, and I was used to saying God, and then I got a bunch of friends who were not religious, and so I started saying the universe just to feel to not offend my non-religious friends. So I'm just like, I was like, I started using like sci-fi terms like "May the Maker be with you" or something like whatever it is, so that nobody's mad.
Wow.
So I'm not offending my friends, and they're just like, cool, that's all good, and now everybody's happy. So. It works for me.
Well, speaking of women, new research saying there is actually a gene that would cause some women to cheat.
That's the universe.
A gene.
A gene. All right, here we go.
So apparently guys don't have genes. They just automatically cheat. It's only some women who cheat, but guys, it's like in the Y chromosome. There is a cheating gene. But only some X chromosomes have the cheating.
Is this a Bill Nye science fact again?
It depends on your
Bill
genes.
Nye. We should call it Bill Nye.
No,
there's literally a dude named Gene who makes them cheat.
Yeah, he's
hot.
He's
hot.
I've seen him.
Here's the study, and it's coming out of Australia.
It's a very tentative study that showed a 40% association with one particular gene and infidelity in women. But it's a very early on kind of research.
What is this gene?
What is a gene? Yeah.
It's called the arginine vasopressin gene.
That's
so made
is a
up.
hormone that has been studied in mammals and in people around bonding and attachment.
Yeah, I mean, do they cheat because of their genes or do they cheat because of something else?
Well, there are several things that they report. One of them is a fear of that they're being ignored, that they almost feel invisible in their relationship, that they want to feel special and cherished again. I think the numbers show that there's a very large amount of women who are cheating, but I always say, studies are confusing at times because if you're going to be lying about having an affair, you might not be so truthful on a study.
It's a very tentative study.
We can't believe these cheaters.
They're
fucking liars.
Right. I think that's the same as when people in America say that they're sex addicts. It's just you want an excuse to get away with something. It's like, I couldn't help it. It's in my genes. When it's like, that's just a parachute excuse now. You get to pull that ripcord at any given time.
These are the
with the internet, anybody can be a sex addict and they'll be fine.
Right.
These are the results of our study. Margin of error is plus or minus 100%.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so we don't believe in the infidelity gene?
I don't believe people cheat.
Oh,
first
sure,
of all.
I believe in it. Why
People don't
not?
cheat.
But I.
Well, what about the old
I
men
speak
are
Klingon.
biologically...
You want to go by what I believe? No, you don't.
Men are biologically programmed to
Be nagged?
not be monogamous.
To
Is that
spread their seed,
right?
technically.
Yeah, is that
Like
gross.
plants.
This is a PG show. You get out with your dirty talk.
There are so many comments that could be made about spreading seed at this moment. Thank you, Dawn.
Yeah, no
But
problem. That's what I'm here for.
Genetically, what does it even mean, genetically predisposed? That's the whole nature
Men
nurture
like
debate.
to
We don't want to get into that, do we?
Sure.
Do we?
Yeah,
The nature
no,
nurture
I don't.
debate?
I think it's just a matter of convenience. And if you can find a study
Yeah.
that makes it okay that you did something that is
Yeah,
inappropriate,
good point.
then that's fine. Because it should be, I'm just going to own the fact that I did something inappropriate, but that is not human nature. Because we are able to now sit there and have an internet poll that justifies everything that we did.
We have the ability to reason. We have the ability to make
No, we don't.
promises, and we also have
No,
the
we don't.
ability to break promises.
Right. And then justify
You
the
are
breaking
going-
of that
Yeah.
promise.
You're way up here. I don't think we have
I
the
know.
ability
I'm
to do
talking.
shit.
I'm serious. Well, it's
Spread
Bill
our
Nye.
seed.
Bill Nye makes me think this way. Whenever I hear Bill Nye, I just start thinking at a higher level.
Thank goodness for Bill Nye.
Yeah. He's like a science guy.
Yes,
he
and
is.
that outstanding lab coat he still wears is great.
And he still wears a bow tie. God.
Hey, when we
Wow.
need to change our drops, we're going to use Dawn's voice. I mean, seriously.
Please use my voice.
I don't often
as
do
much as you
voiceover.
need.
So forget Deflategate. There's a huge now blow up in the athletic sports world, but do we care? Because
Are we talking about the soccer one?
because it involves soccer.
I
Do we
care because I care about soccer.
I like soccer. I
Is this-
like the thighs in soccer.
Mike-
Let's just be honest here. I could look at those thighs all
My
day.
daughter's in 8th grade soccer, and that feels wrong that you just said that.
Well, I won't look at hers.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There you go. That solves that problem.
Yeah, no problem.
There was a lot of controversy when the World Cup was assigned to Russia and Qatar, and it's like, why are you letting the World Cup go to these places where there's huge human rights violations? Well, now it turns out there might be a reason why they won these bidding wars, and it has to do with bribes.
Global
Big
threats.
Bribes
and
into
cheated,
the
big cheaters that cheat.
hundred. Here, listen to
They
this.
have the cheater
Again,
genes. That's what you're
it's a
saying.
bombshell in the world of soccer. Some of the sports top executives were arrested this morning at a hotel in Zurich, Switzerland.
The U.S. Justice Department accuses them of corruption and bribe taking involving tens of millions of dollars.
According to the Swiss Federal Office of Justice,
actually
the
arrest
U.S.
people in
Justice Department
Switzerland?
is
I didn't know you could
investigating
do that.
individuals on suspicion of the acceptance of bribes of more than $100 million over the past 2 decades in exchange for media deals for major soccer tournaments. The crimes were prepared in the U.S. and payments were carried out by U.S. banks.
I gotta say, as far as controversy goes, this beats the hell out of deflating a ball.
I think so too, and I think if you're going to take a bribe, go all in. You know, I got to think because that is outstanding. It wasn't like $50 and some
$100 million.
If you're going to go in
Sure,
and say,
Qatar, you could have.
I'm gonna try.
You
You
could
know,
have the World Cup.
Because I try. You try to think as a human being that you have a certain level of integrity, but you sometimes have to go. What is your price tag? And if you're
$100
$100 million,
definitely
wouldn't
my
you give it a
integrity
shot?
out the window,
yeah,
yeah.
and I would like to think no, I would never do that. But I'm like, what? $100 million? Maybe you think you
I
could
could
get
go
away
to
with
jail
it,
for a few years, and when I get out, I'd still have $100 million.
right?
Yeah. Plus, the prison food is delish. Those powdered eggs in the morning.
It's Switzerland. I bet the prison food in Switzerland is pretty amazing.
And do you get to go-
grab your tray and move the blanket. Don't take
If
a
you're
shower.
talking
What
about
the hell was that?
That's my
a
tempted
Swedish chef thing that he
Swedish
does.
chef meets a dirty Swedish prison rat.
People from
Oh,
countries that start with S don't all have the same accent. Thank you very
He's
much.
only got 2 accents,
Oh.
that and kind of Hispanic.
Me thinks he doth protest
really
too
all
much.
he's got.
Yeah.
So.
Well, lots to talk about coming up, but we should take a break. And Chuck, you should go run and search this House of Studios and see if we can't fully mic up and headset.
Coffee, condoms, headset. Got it. Okay.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Obviously,
Just a typical
I'm
show.
coming back.
The Twin Cities Hit Show. We'll be right back.
MacMen. Don't let your computer problems drive you mad. We are MacMen, Minnesota's premier tech consultants and problem solvers for Macs, mobile devices, troubleshooting, training, and much more. No more dragging your computer all over town because we come to you. We love making house calls to your home or small business. MacMen. Call 612-345-8005. The Alive and Social Network is alive and growing. From the best in sports, music, movies, and beer, Alive and Social is what all the cool kids click on. Featuring characters like radio rebel Jeff Dubay, Star Tribune pundit Jim Suhan, Unfiltered, and television veteran and handsome man Rusty Gatenby. You can also taste the Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly. Join the band with live band karaoke night from legendary O'Gara's in St. Paul and the live music showcase from Shamrocks. Yes, Alive and Social Network does indeed rock and roll. The Jeff DeBay Show, Jim Suhan Unfiltered, the Rusty Gatenby Review, the Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly, live band karaoke, and Shamrock's live music showcase. Join the fun. Be alive and social with the Alive and Social Network.
The Rusty Gatenby Review is the entertaining show about entertainment from movies, music, and more. Award-winning TV guy Rusty Gatenby and his review is the podcast with the biggest cast in entertainment, part of the Alive and Social Network. You can get that Minnesota connection to Hollywood and beyond any time of the day or night simply by clicking on the RustyGatenbyReview.com. That's the RustyGatenbyReview.com, part of the Alive and Social Network.
You're listening to the Twin Cities Hit Show. Say it 3 times fast. We just dare you.
Chuck is dancing in the hall now.
He's a big fan of St. Motel.
I guess.
It's great radio, Dancing in the Hall.
Yeah. I guess that's fine. So what's up with you guys?
What's up with us, guys?
What's up with you guys?
We're doing a show. Dawn's in this show.
Yeah, we're doing Jenny Bandage versus the unpronounceable acronym, which opens on Friday.
At the Black Forest Event Center.
That's a
in
mouthful,
Minneapolis.
first of all, for
Yeah.
the show.
Well, that's kind of how
Do you have
I
a
write.
shorter way if you just want to get a ticket?
We call it Jenny Bandage.
Yeah,
Jenny
that's
Bandage.
short.
Yeah.
Where's the Black Forest Event Center? I'm not familiar with
It's
that one.
1 East 26th Street. So Black Forest, the Black Forest Cafe. It's on East Street. On East Street.
Yeah, that's super
And,
delicious place.
The
By the
event
way,
center is like a separate building right next to the Black Forest. So like there's the Black Forest, then there's the beer garden, then there's the event center. So what you do is you come out to the show, you go to the beer garden, you get a beer, and then you can bring the beer to the show.
You cannot.
Yes. Yes.
The more you
Beer
drink,
and
the
a show.
funnier we get.
that's true.
That is
And you guys have been doing the Fearless comedy production stuff for what, 2 years now, 3 years now?
just over 2 years.
And
Just over 2 years.
which I think is a really awesome project because there's not a lot of full-on sketch that you can see in the Twin Cities.
True.
I mean, you guys are really doing some work that, you can find stand-up, you can find improv, but finding places that actually do sketch primarily, I think, is more difficult to find.
That is true. We do sketch. We actually do all kinds of comedy. We are comedy. What do I want to say? A cornucopia of comedy. So
What
Jenny
kinds of
Bandage,
comedy are there?
Well, there's like a full-length play, like what we're doing right now. Jenny Bandage is a full-length play. I wrote it, and it's about a scientist spy. So it's kind of it is definitely a spoof of James Bond.
Oh, absolutely.
And
With a lot more Nerf guns.
She's the James Bond.
Yes.
She is, yeah. So she's got the same initials. That's where the Jenny Bandage.
Now, does
comes
your antenna go up when you see that Melissa McCarthy has got a movie coming out called Spy?
I was worried about that. I'm afraid that we might have we might lose a few people because they're going to go see the Melissa McCarthy movie instead of the play.
No way.
I don't know.
They're going to go see movies instead of plays? Are you kidding?
What universe are you part
I
of?
know.
That's a possibility, but I also feel that there's an opportunity for cross promotion. We tried. We were putting postcards out at the movie theaters. No, we're not doing that. That's not going to work.
Why?
Because nobody
You'd get in
takes
trouble.
postcards. Have you ever taken a postcard? I want to.
Yeah, I
really
take the postcard to the next wastebasket.
Exactly. I mean, you go to the theater and there are all these people that have postcards for their shows, right? And you look at the postcards, and you're like, huh. Well, that's interesting. Nobody takes the postcard. You only need one postcard at each theater because they're going to
read this
look
postcard and hand it back to me, please.
Yeah.
Our budget is $20. Please return this postcard.
What about all those guys in Vegas that do the little and they hand you the strip club flyers and all that stuff?
We don't have a lot of theater hawkers in the Twin Cities that do that kind of thing.
Do you need to sell people on strip clubs? Is that a hard sell in
that
Vegas?
thing in Vegas is number one annoying, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, hard. I'm sorry.
What? Okay, Jenny Bandage.
Jenny Bandage.
Yeah.
I mean, we also do improv. We also do sketch comedy. So we do a lot of different stuff. So
And an old-timey radio show
an
that's a
old
little
time
bit
radio
more
show.
modern.
That's right. So you folks do radio. We do a show
Old-time
called-
radio, see?
Old time radio. That's right.
Not in the same show, though. The
No,
show,
no, we
the
do a
show
bunch
this-
of different shows. We just do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Wow. But
Yeah.
the show we're
At a
talking
lot
about...
of different venues, so that's
a lot of
cool,
different
too.
venues.
Mhm.
All right. And so what was the thought? What's the story brief? Give us a synopsis of...
Sure, the story is about Jenny Bandage. She is a scientist secret agent.
Why is her last name Bandage?
Yeah, I've actually wondered this. So I was going to ask this today.
I thought it was
You
a
could have
funny
asked that
name.
earlier, yeah.
I thought it was a funny name. I have to be really honest.
Okay.
I was just like,
There was no injury in her youth?
no,
or-
I liked the name Bandage. I thought it was funny.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
It's
that
it's-
explains a lot of Fearless
think-
Comedy Productions.
I think-
right
Like,
there.
that's a very Tim Wick answer.
I think
you wanted a reason?
comes from a long-
if you want me to back it out, I think what happened is I thought, okay, I need to have a name that's kind of like Bond, but not really Bond.
Uh-huh.
And you
somehow
didn't want bondage?
my brain went to bondage, and I'm like, I don't think I can do bondage.
That's too easy.
So I'll do
is.
bandage.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. I don't want to promise that because I did come up with the name of the show like a year ago.
You may have gotten a whole different audience if it had been Slug
I
Jenny
might have.
Bondage. They'd be going,
I think I would have gotten a whole different show if it had been Jenny Bondage.
Oh.
Or
I have
not.
to change my costume then.
just a
So
tad,
yeah,
just a
Jenny
scotch.
Bondage is trying to thwart the evil
Bandage.
doings of Jenny. Oh, see, you
See,
just
now it's stuck.
now people are going to come see the show and expect something different.
That's what I said.
She's
yeah.
trying to thwart the evil machinations of Professor Acronym,
Oh,
who
that guy.
speaks in acronyms.
Give us an example.
Who's playing that character?
John Kunick.
Okay.
Oh, and he's so funny.
He's really he's
God,
hilarious.
is he
He's
funny.
He's been in the Twin Cities acting scene a long time. Worked at the Children's Theater. Worked at the Guthrie. We're real lucky to have him, and he's
Yes.
super funny.
Yeah, I've seen this guy. I'm looking at his picture. He's been around.
Yeah, and also Jenny has an assistant who is also confusingly named Jenny,
Yep.
Oh.
and she's a young perky intern who is trying to figure out how to be both a science intern and a spy intern at the same time.
I want to give us. Can you give us an example of an acronym dialogue, Professor Acronym's dialogue?
When his assistant arrives, he says, "Wake you," to ask him, "What are your qualifications?" That's an example.
So does the audience have to figure out what acronyms he's using?
Yeah, that's only on elite mode.
Elite mode.
You know, like the opera where they put up the screen of the English translation.
You know, that was one of the hardest things about the script is to have that be the character's affectation without just constantly having other characters go, "What?
Right.
What?" So
and then have to sound it out to go, what is that?
I do a mixture. I tried to come up with a mixture of ways that you could interpret his dialogue, and of course, you don't want to overuse a joke, so it's not like every time he talks, he's talking in acronyms. But
Because that would make the play really long because you'd have to like build in like pauses while the audience was like, "What? Why is it like algebra?" They're watching this whole play.
we thought about just having somebody with a sign in the back, so every time he delivers a line, they just hold up a sign to let
Right.
the audience know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Or putting it into the program, so it's like
Oh,
a
that's
definition.
good. A glossary.
That would be annoying.
And then all
Professor
the while, you're hearing
Acronym
this-
glossary. That would be great.
Wait, hold on. What did you just say?
Yeah, during the entire show.
Did you see that joke on Modern Family where... Do you watch Modern Family?
I have been known to watch Modern Family.
Hey, did you know that he knows Steve Levitan?
Steve Levitan, created the show. He's a friend of mine. There's a scene where Cliff goes, WTF, and his wife looks at him like, shocked that he's saying, he goes, why the face?
Yeah. But he did the classic build-up. He's like, I know all the cool hip sayings. It throws out 2 or 3 in the last one. WTF? Why the face?
If you could see the
Love
collective
that.
eye rolling in this room right now, because
right, never
when in doubt,
No, he does. He
now
knows
Rusty
Steve
feels
Levitan.
bad. It's so adorable that so many
No,
of
that's
your
right.
social
That's the
references come
joke.
back
I'm
to
not-
Modern Family. It's adorable. I like it.
It's one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite lines from the entire series.
He said, "Never."
I've never seen Rusty defensive. I feel like I'm on the office.
That's now
This is
one of my
fun.
favorite lines from
I
the
like
entire
it.
He's
series.
on his
as
back.
well.
Yes.
He's on his back right now. Here, Rusty.
That's one of my that's my favorite line from the entire series as well. I think I've seen like 2 episodes of it. So
Wow, bragger. Well, maybe you should see more of
the
it.
entire
like total.
So both
like
episodes.
total. If you squash together all the time I spent watching Modern Family. I've
Oh,
seen 2
because your art is just way more important than Steve Levitan's.
No, it's because I spend more time watching cooking shows. Anyway, can we talk more about our play? I would like
Which
to talk
there
about.
is no cooking in the
There
play
isn't.
at all.
There's no cooking.
Just clarify.
No cooking.
What would you like to tell us about the play?
Now he's pissed. Just get it over with. What do you want?
I would like to tell you, Dawn. You should talk. Dawn is amazing. She plays our lead. She's Jenny Bandage.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The cast is, of course, brilliant. We're still making each other laugh, which when you're in your last week of rehearsals, that's always really a joyful experience because someone will just still come up with something new and be like, I don't even know what the heck that is. So I think we're going to have successful shows if no one actually cracks on stage.
Nice.
Because there are moments where it's like, oh, God, I'm screwed. No, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what made the Carol Burnett show though charming. Was
That's
when they
what
would
made
make
it amazing.
and then Jimmy Fallon he admits that was his bit on Saturday Night Live is that he would never be able to keep a straight face.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Because, there are moments when actors are even laughing at themselves.
Hey.
Yeah, we have one of my favorite things. This is something I do as a writer that I enjoy. Is I like to actually cast a couple of actors to play all the bit parts. I think that's the most fun part. I think the person
So they have
playing
multiple characters.
Yeah, so we've got 2 actors, Matt Alex and Lauren Haven, who each play about 8 characters throughout the course of the show. And watching the rehearsal earlier this week, the most fun was to watch the 2 of them do all their quick changes. So the audience can maybe figure out which character they're supposed to be playing in this particular scene.
Time.
They play about 5 different goons over the course of the show. Different goons every time. So they're trying to figure out how to do different voices so they're not the same goon with their 2 lines.
Did you say the audience can watch them do their change?
I hope so. No, I don't think so.
At this point, no.
It was the rehearsal space where I was
Yeah.
able to see this.
But, if we're really sucking on stage and people really want to see behind the curtain, they're more than welcome to watch people change.
Yeah. There's
Yay.
also we're going to have we have a live musical accompanist, Chad Dutton.
Yep.
And he plays a lot of musical stings, and then also he's doing the live sound effects for the show.
Did he find a way to do a riff on the James Bond? Can
we actually say yes to that without getting nailed?
It's a riff. It's
a
not.
riff. Okay.
To
look at you, Miss
Is it a
Legalese.
sample? Is it a sample?
No,
like
it's
a
a very.
hip-hop song?
He plays it live. It's a variation on the James Bond.
There
theme.
we go.
It's a variation. I think those are allowed.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Something that evokes the Bond-esque.
Like calling the main character Jenny Bandage
Right.
evokes
right.
James Bond.
Because I've only been in rehearsals for how long and haven't figured that out. Yeah. Super evoking.
But anyway,
Evocative.
it is evocative. So it's been a lot of fun to watch this show develop.
Well, you have quite a run coming up. It goes all the way through the 13th
It's a
of June.
3-week run. That's right. That's right.
Oh my God.
It's
Where do we
gonna
get our
be-
tickets? Right at Will Call?
You can get your tickets at Will Call. It's $15 at
no,
the
where
door.
do we get our tickets?
Oh, your tickets? Yeah, I'll have your ticket there, Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get them online at Brown Paper Tickets ahead of time. And there are shows, I'm going to try and remember the dates. It's this Friday the 29th, the 30th, the 31st. And then the following week, it is the 7th, 6th, 7th, and then 8th. The 8th is a Monday night. That's a Pay What You Can show.
Yep, cool.
And then we've got shows on the 12th and 13th.
And
so,
it looks like
3-week
you're
run.
giving discounts to people with convergence badges or
That's
fringe.
right. If you've got a
'cause
convergence
we love
badge or a
nerds.
badge or a fringe
Oh.
pass or a fringe button.
Ooh, and
you
Monday,
get
June
discounts
8th.
at the door.
Pay What You Can night. So that's
That's
nice.
right.
It's going to be packed.
You should listen to the show because he just mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Oh,
Chuck.
when did you guys get here?
Yeah, it's a good show.
If you can't afford anything, you just come out on Pay What You Can night and pay nothing.
And Monday night
we'll be
shows
like,
are always fun
awesome.
because
Yeah.
that's when you get to see a lot of other people that you like your friends that are normally in other shows.
Yeah.
There's that's when you can usually go, okay, well, they might be dark on their show, so they can come out to the show. So it's nice to have that be your Pay What You Can night.
I am also going to point out that this show, unintentionally so, is kid friendly.
Oh,
I was going to ask.
There's no swearing. There's no.
Well, we do say "damn it." Is that okay?
Damn it!
I say "damn it" a lot.
My kid says "damn it" a lot.
I think everything I've ever written has that word in it.
And Captain Flight Plan.
Honey, I love you. Will you marry me? Damn it!
Damn it! Damn it's a great word. I mean, isn't it?
It is a fine
so
word.
fun to say.
Not my favorite.
And when you're not, can we swear on the show?
No.
Okay, so I'm not going to swear.
No,
but we can't use the F word, which is also one of my favorites.
That would totally fuck up the show.
It would be fucked.
Yeah,
don't do that.
If I can't say fuck, then damn it.
We said no. What part of don't say fuck do you not understand?
They do this every show. They're just waiting.
Every guest is like, "Can I swear?"
And they're like,
"Yay!
"Yay!"
We get to make this joke again. Fuck yes.
I just want to be able to check that box.
We're
explicit
simple
content.
folks. It's the simple pleasures.
I like it.
Dawn, you were going to say something and I cut you off.
Yeah, because you're a jerk.
Yes, or a fucker.
Yeah, I was going to say fucker. Oh, yes, the pay what you can night. The best part about that is you can bring all your hard-earned money and just spend it on booze instead.
That's right.
Cool.
You can still get beer. That's not pay.
Assuming you're not high already.
Yeah, and actually the beer at the Black Forest is relatively affordable. You can get like a smaller beer for like $3.50. Like, but who wants a smaller beer? Like larger ones are like $5, and they're actually good.
Well, it's a German restaurant.
Well,
The Germans have had some experience producing decent beer.
However, as someone who is German, my mama immigrated from Berlin. My cousins over there are just like, "Why do you keep drinking our beer? They're like, you have Bud Light." I'm like, oh, hell no.
So that's
Do they like Bud
Bud
Light?
Light is good to Germans.
They love that, and they love jalapeno cheese.
How were they able to win the war? Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. I use that on my mom a lot, too.
You
That's
seem
how
so
you trump
smart.
every fight. But I mean, if you haven't seen one of Tim's plays before, he does do a lot of stuff. He's had very successful fringe shows, all the stuff he's doing with the Fearless Comedy Labs, and then stuff even at like Convergence. A lot of us have seen different things that he's put on there at the stage. So I mean, it's a wide variety of things. So you're gonna have an awesome night ahead of you.
I write nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
I do. If you're a nerd, you're probably gonna like this show.
And if you like silly, you're going
Yes.
to like this show.
It's pretty wacky. It's a bit. I think wacky is a good.
Wacky is a good description.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nerf guns.
Oh, there's so many Nerf guns.
Oh, you should take those out and go get a pedal pub.
Oh,
Go
boy.
get 'em.
Here we go. Call back.
I'm pretty sure. Don't you think that we wouldn't get arrested if we used a Nerf gun?
No.
Yeah, the people aren't taking the nerfing or the water gunning of pedal pubs. They're taking it very seriously right
I
now.
was
don't
giving
think
you
can get away
bad
with anything.
advice. I was giving you bad advice.
Fearless. We're working on.
There you go. You're fearless.
We're working on our next fundraiser, and one of the things we've talked about. One of the things we've talked about is hiring a pedal pub and having all of us on the pedal pub and allowing people to throw water balloons at us.
You
That
might raise some
actually-
money.
Yeah, that
Because
might
that-
actually do a service because some people they'd find it
Vent.
very cathartic.
Yeah, get
yes.
that energy
Yes.
out. Get that mojo out.
We'd have to find a pedal pub that would support this. But I feel like that's something the public wants.
Yes.
So
You'd be fulfilling a need.
Could I volunteer to be the off-duty cop going, guys, stop beating the squirt gun, guys.
No. So essentially, we would like sell balloons for like 50 cents a pop or $1 a pop.
Yeah.
And just chuck
And
them.
just
Or have somebody follow along behind that actually had like you can take the donations as you walk up the street. So
Yeah.
people could come out and provide
while
their own
you're-
water balloons, but then
Well,
you would take the donation.
You should be singing beer drinking songs very loud during the. Just get everyone angry and never react. Just let them keep. Just hang them on.
Tim has a band that you could do that, so your band could
I
you bring
do.
your
I have a
band.
band.
Uh-huh.
Band? Tell us about your band.
So that would my band is the Dregs.
Oh, duh! I forgot you were in the Dregs. Yeah.
Comedy, music, silliness.
I didn't know you were in the
It
Dregs.
is a lot of
Forgot
fun.
you.
I do a lot of things.
Yeah, you do.
I do all the things. I do the
do all
stuff.
the
You
thing.
managed to have children, which I don't even. What? That
I
was
don't
astounding.
recognize them though. So it's,
They're not good children.
Yeah, they have to check
they're-
your
they're
ID
ba-
when you
they're
walk in
poor-
the door just to
they're
make sure.
ill-behaved,
That's what
and
they
it's
have.
my fault.
How old are they?
15 and 10.
And the 15-year-old, when people say, "What does your dad do?" How does he answer the question?
He actually tells them I'm a writer, which I appreciate.
Oh.
And he's actually, when he's done like writing projects at school, he tells his teachers about it, and the teachers actually have asked me to give them scripts because they want to read them. So.
Wow.
And
I don't know
he's
if you know this.
funny,
My buddy
too.
is Steve Levitan. He created,
That's awesome.
he created
Okay.
Modern
No
Family.
way.
Oh, Modern
Yeah.
Family.
He created Modern Family.
Wow.
You know,
So
is that line from that show?
Is that what you do for a living, Rusty? You're Steve Levitan's friend?
I am.
Wow.
It's on his
Yeah.
business.
He's his
card.
one-person promoter to his 3 followers on Twitter.
I don't need to promote it. 5 Emmys.
Did he give you one of them? He doesn't need them all. He's not your friend if he didn't give you one.
To my #1 supporter. He just engraved it on the bottom, handed it to you,
Directing,
put it on your
writing.
birthday cake. Is that what he did?
I actually have 5 Emmys of my own. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's like, I don't need
I
his.
bet you do.
I actually didn't believe that.
He does. He does. He says he has 5 Emmys of his own.
I do.
I didn't
I was in
believe
TV for almost
he was.
31 years, Tim.
I've seen 3 of those Emmys.
And that's an average of 1 Emmy every 6 years. So well
Right.
done.
I
Mr.
worked,
Cynical.
I worked
Tim.
with people who have 0 Emmys. So, and I'm in a room full of people with 0 Emmys.
Oh, now you can tell he's upset. Look at him.
I've been in
Look at
TV
him
for
throwing
0
stuff.
years. Give me 31 years. and
In
maybe I'll
Rusty's
have-
defense, I've been to his
Wow.
house. I've seen several of his Emmys, and I didn't believe that he and Steve Levitan were fans or friends until I walked into the Steve Levitan room that Rusty has. It's an entire room dedicated to Steve
It's motion
Levitan.
sensitive, so when you walk in, the lights go on and
Yeah,
the
it's
theme music.
really cool.
and the,
Yeah, which proves they're friends, I think.
Steve does
So
not
that's
know.
why you
Steve
don't
doesn't
have a
know
lot
I
of
have that
friends.
room,
Yes,
Chuck.
yeah. Oh.
Steve does not know I have that
edit,
room.
edit.
It's embarrassing.
He probably doesn't listen to this.
He's too busy getting more
Dude,
Emmys.
are we going to do this? Because I won't fucking do this. We're going to do this. You want
It's
to
a
do
battle.
this? Do you want to do this? I will do this.
Gatenby, let's not battle our
No,
guests.
I was no.
You're being nice.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
What
do you want, Tim?
Oh
I
boy.
guess we have to audio describe this next portion, don't we?
Time to go to break. Time to go to
pulled
break.
the mic out of the stand.
He's all like, let's go, dude.
Let's do this. I mean, I feel bad because I
You feel
don't.
bad. You feel bad because you have 6 Emmys. I understand.
I only have 5.
See, you don't have 6 Emmys, so
Yeah.
That's why he feels
you feel bad. I've touched a nerve.
Hey, whoa, whoa.
No, you've struck an attitude, motherfucker.
Oh my god!
Oh my God. Hey,
see, this is how fights start on pedal pubs. This is exactly.
Throw a water balloon.
Everybody's just
you
teasing.
can have the first water balloon when we do the pedal pub.
No.
I'm just glad that it got really uncomfortable in this room, and I had nothing to do with it. Okay, I instigated it, but that's it. I
Did
started.
mention-
I walked
Did
away.
I mention I also run an insult comedy show? Maybe I
Oh,
should have brought
gotcha.
that up earlier.
Oh, you're fighting a champion.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we.
I'll challenge his throne.
I would love to see Gatenby on a vilification tennis show.
Oh,
that would be
so great.
Could you
I will
imagine?
challenge your
Great.
fucking throne as an insult king. You go first.
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
an insult king. I
He's
said
not.
I
He
run
hasn't
the
run the show.
I run the show.
Oh, all right.
I run the show.
I run this
so-
show.
Oh,
Bitch.
he's so
Oh,
mad.
Rusty.
He's
Just
just
hold-
all
just
that,
hold
all
it
that
out.
red-headed
Hug it
anger just
out.
came up. It's all in his
I've-
chest right
I've-
now. Look at him.
I've
he has-
disrespected his Emmys. I'm sorry. man.
It was kind of a
Sorry.
We just go get
it
some
wasn't.
coffee.
It wasn't
Yeah.
disrespecting the Emmys.
Men
It
are just
wasn't.
fighting now.
It
Just
wasn't-
There's
fighting.
suntan
wasn't-
lotion running down his
What-
face like
I'm
mascara.
sorry. I was
Run the world instead
engaging
while
in
this is going
playful
on.
banter.
No, it didn't seem playful. Was the
I'm
bit?
sorry. I sounded serious. I did not mean to. It was meant to be playful banter.
Okay,
and
can
I
I-
apologize for offending you.
Can I play middle child now?
We'll play this back, and I mean, I've had
I
guests,
just-
and
I just-
I make fun of myself. I make
Didn't I
myself
just
the butt.
apologize? I thought I just
I-
apologized.
okay.
I wish
All
I
right.
ran the board because I would be in a commercial right now.
We can go to commercial.
No, we don't have to go to commercial. I do agree he did apologize. So are you willing to be man enough to take his apology, Mr.
Sure.
Gatenby? See, so we're all good now.
My milk just dropped.
Yes, let's just go.
So there's that.
He apologized.
In all my years, I've never had the vibe that was coming from
Well,
you, and I didn't know where it was, and it wasn't stopping.
Is he an only
I'm,
child?
this.
No.
I brought up running an
Wow.
insult tennis show as an insult show because that's what I'm used to. The kind of
they barb with each other a lot. That's just the way that they
We
interact.
barb with each other.
So anyways,
again,
Jenny Bandage and the version of the unpronounceable acronym is opening this Friday. It is stupidly funny, and you'll probably get hit with a Nerf dart.
So again, I
hope.
apologize. Yeah, and do come to the
Oh,
show.
I just tried to
There's
change
nothing in
the,
the show.
subject.
nothing.
We spend
Fair.
absolutely no time making fun of
Respectful.
Rusty. Not a
Happy.
moment.
Yeah.
Not a moment.
Happy.
Absolutely not.
Good. It's good.
I'm helping him apologize because I've known Tim for a while, and he's just like that. He didn't mean it, kind of thing. It was an accident. So I get what you're saying, but it was an accident.
I'm drinking coffee.
Guys, go ahead.
He's just gonna stay mad. I'm trying.
So I think the challenge with Jenny Bandage and the unpronounceable acronym is playing straight man.
Yeah,
it's hard to play straight man in comedy because you're like, everyone else is laughing and no one laughs at me. and it's like, I think one of the hardest jobs in comedy is just to be there and just be like, set everybody else up, set everybody else up, set everybody else up. Yeah. And
I actually like that. That's almost my job on the show. I just sit here and throw in random shit that pisses people off. And not exclusive of this actual thing. There's a lot to be said for it. I think being the straight guy is funny.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, especially when like Tim has been kind enough to write roles that are just like, oh God, punchline every 3 lines. Because I mean, that's what he does, and that's one of his magics. And then also now just to be like, well, everybody else is funny. That's all that matters.
It all goes back to enjoying the pause.
Yeah,
the pause.
I think the straight role is actually probably the most challenging in any comedy.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's got to kind of hold it together while everybody else is going completely nuts.
Yeah.
And that's really
and not be jealous of everybody else's lines.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's too late. Yeah, I'm jealous of everybody else's lines,
but I'm funny too.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited to open the show. It's been ready to open for about a week now, and we just need an audience. And I think once we get that audience in our face, it's just going to get wackier and sillier and funnier as we go on.
Well, we were talking before we came up here. The hardest thing with a comedy is you don't know what's actually funny.
No.
Right? You know what you think is funny, but you don't know what the audience is going to respond to until they
There's
show
a lot
up.
I could say right there, but go on.
Yeah. I can see me and Rusty are going to have a lot of making up to do.
Oh my God.
Do you want to change spots, Tim? Maybe to like get that.
Why don't you two just whip it out and just get into the kissing
it's
contest?
all right. It's all right.
All right. Okay.
I think
anyways,
we'll be okay. But
it is hard in comedy because, especially something like this, is like you don't know where the laughs are going to fall. And one night it falls in one place, and the next night nothing happens. It's like this killed the night before.
So everybody's like, we're going to pause for a laugh because we know it's going to
Yeah.
get a laugh, and then you pause and it's like, okay.
Exactly.
This is now an awkward moment where people think I forgot my line.
Yay! But yeah, so it's going to be cool. It's going to be exciting, and I'm just really thrilled to get this thing going.
And so if it's popular during those 3 weeks, is it going to come back again? Does it get extended? Does it show up elsewhere?
We aren't able to extend it because the location has other shows. So we pretty much got the 3-week run. If it is popular, we may remount. But
So isn't that kind of crushing all the work that goes into it, and then it only lives for 3 weeks?
No, not at all.
No, by the end of the 3 weeks, you're like, okay, let's move on.
Well, I mean, and I don't mean to interrupt Tim on that,
No, go
but
ahead.
like usually remounts of stage
Tim's a dick.
productions
Go ahead and interrupt
don't succeed very well. So it's like people are like, oh my God, we love it. But you actually really want to end your show on a high note, especially for a company like Fearless Comedy Productions. You want that notch on your belt, so to speak, so that your next show is going to be even better, even more amazing, and even better attended.
Yeah, one of the things my friend Joseph Scrimshaw talked about, he did a show. See, I was name dropping.
I know. I wasn't going to say anything, but I wiggled my eyebrows suggestively.
I don't know if he knows Steve Levitt. Maybe he does.
He might. He lives in L.A. now. So
see, there you go.
Steve living
They're falling
in
into
LA,
the
I
ocean
don't
soon,
honestly
so enjoy them while you can.
Yeah. But he did a show a few years back that was a really good show, and I was like, but it was in the wrong venue. It was a musical.
Which show was that?
It was Sexy Librarian.
Oh yeah,
really enjoyable, but you couldn't understand the singing at all. And
what
I asked
venue
him,
was it in?
It was in the Theater Garage, which is a terrible venue for a musical.
There's lots of terrible venues for musicals, but that's another story.
I asked him, "Are you going to remount this show?"
Yeah.
Maybe in a space where it's a better venue so people can understand the lyrics to your songs, which are really funny and nobody heard.
Yeah.
And he said no, because the Twin Cities is not a remount town. We
We're
have
not.
so much theater, and people really are not interested in that show once it's been up once.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. And there is so much out there. I mean, I just think of even some of the guests we've had. There is so much to do on a weekend, theater-wise, musically, comedically. Yeah, it's an arts town, no doubt about it.
It's a
God bless
great
the
arts
Twin
town.
Cities.
Yes.
They should have
I
a hit
just
show
remember
about
on a
that.
lesser extent when I was in the high school musical, you would work for months leading up to it, and you'd only get those 2 weekends, and it was kind of like, damn, I wish we could do Fiddler on the Roof another weekend.
It does suck.
Yeah.
It does. It's great and it's awful to close a show. If the show is successful, you just want to keep doing it forever. It's like triple espresso.
Yeah, triple espresso
Wow.
been on for a long time.
Yeah, that's a huge success. And they even switched out from the original players.
Right.
John Bush was in that.
Mhm.
Our very own John
George
Bush.
W. Bush?
John Bush, very funny comedian.
And Derek
from
Hughes
Iowa.
was in it for a while.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, pretty much everybody.
That we know. Everyone we know.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Who's a guy?
Yeah.
Who's a
Pretty
guy.
much, that's true.
Yeah, Dawn has not been in it.
No, not yet. There's always hope, right?
Until they come out with a girl version of triple espresso. Then Dawn is there.
They'd
I
call
think
it
that's-
triple latte.
I think it's called nonsense.
I was going to say that nonsense one.
Well played.
That's also a
Well
huge
played.
success, though.
It is.
You would covet if your show became a nonsense. I would think.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
Jenny bandage troops all around the Midwest, and
I think we have to change it to Jenny Bondage.
I think, and then we'd have
around the
no
Midwest.
trouble getting Jenny Bondage troops. There'd be Jenny Bondage weekends at hotels that nobody would talk about.
Florence Henderson playing at the Des Moines Civic Center is Jenny Bondage this weekend. Anyway, a man can dream.
Yeah.
A man can dream.
And yes.
And now I think we've killed an hour. This will go down as the most dysfunctional show we've done.
No, it
I
actually
apologize.
won't. Don't worry, we're fine. We're still good.
I'm doing this shout out to Tim. All you need is love.
Very nice.
One of my favorite songs.
I don't like.
We're gonna
Hug it out,
folks.
gentlemen. Yes, hug it out,
Hug it
gentlemen.
I'm kidding. It was
I don't want to mess up his computer. We'll hug it out.
Tomorrow we got the kickoff of the big summer deck series.
Yeah,
right?
we have no guest tomorrow, which is useless.
We have
bastard.
Stevie Ray.
Oh, that's right. He's on the calendar.
Stevie
So,
Ray
I
is
forget
on
these things.
our show tomorrow afternoon.
I
You'll
live by the calendar.
Join us on the deck down there at
Yeah,
the
but
Chart
we
House.
have no guest in the morning.
Oh, in the morning, yeah, we're just doing a short little thing. But
yeah, and then we'll be
So
live.
come down, have a little happy hour cocktail with us.
we've got people already RSVPing.
Yeah.
We're going to have a bit of a crowd. There's a live band.
Yeah,
Stevie Ray. Yeah.
I will. If you show up, I will personally buy you a water on the rocks. So there's
I like
that.
mine neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in. I apologize for making it awkward.
I clearly assisted. I apologize for the assist.
They're going to end with sex. We went from that to
Oh,
sex.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for having us out.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
You'll never be invited back. But thank you.
I didn't plan on being invited back.
You're invited back.
You will be invited back. We'll have a better one.
Invited back.
Don Krasnowski, Tim Wick from Fearless Productions.
Thanks for having us.
All you need is love, people. We'll see you
Wednesdays at
tomorrow.
Wednesdays at